Welcome back to my channel where we talk about parenting, well-being and lifestyle. So if you're new here, my name is Cynthia Ofodile. In today's video I'll be sharing with you some of the dangerous practices that can harm a baby. If you've been following me before, thank you for following me, and if you haven't started following me, please start following me now, because I'll be sharing with you lots of parenting tips and hacks, things we need to do to make sure that our babies and children are safe. The next one is a very important one. So it's lying your baby facing down. Okay, please watch this. So this is baby Z, assuming this is a live baby, yeah, and I have put her on her back and I twist her head like this, yeah. Let's assume, you know, the way a baby will lie down. And then again, I've used this blanket to cover her up. So never mind, this one is where I've put the camera to show you something else. So where I'm monitoring baby D is this camera here. Mine, I just had to use something to hold it for this illustration. So now, and I have assumed she is perfectly fine and she is sleeping. One, can you spot the mistake I have made here? Quickly, I'll tell you about it. Now, putting baby D on her back will prevent baby D from breathing well. I won't know whether she's breathing well or not. I've assumed she is breathing well, and I've also used this blanket that is non-breathable to cover her, which makes it worse. So assuming she is sleeping and suddenly she moves her hand like this, and then the blanket goes over her face. Now, I might not be able to see all that perfectly, because when you're viewing from a camera, I mean, I've put this camera and I'm viewing from a camera, this is what the camera is going to show you. Down like this. I don't know if you can see this very well. So this is the monitor. I've put one camera here on baby D's cot here, and I've put her to sleep. And I've got this one to show me that she is sleeping very well, where I can monitor her and I'll go off and do whatever I want to do. Now, I am monitoring baby D on this camera here, as you can see, but then she might turn over and I'm busy in the kitchen. So what I'm after is to hear her voice, maybe to hear when she cries or when she's, you know, she's awake and everything. But I might not be able to notice that baby D has covered her face with the blanket, because this is a non-breathable blanket, and when this happens I might not be able to see properly except I come to her room or to her cot, wherever I've laid her on, to check on baby D. So this is wrong, using a blanket that is not breathable. So this is not a good practice, to lie your baby facing down. Even though your baby might have colic, you've spoken to your doctor, the best thing to do to support your baby if they have got colic and your doctor has advised that lying them on their tummy can help with the colic. Now, if you must lie them this way, then you need to use a breathable blanket like this one. This has got holes in it when you put them down, so when she's breathing, this can help her get some air in because it's breathable. So assuming you need to put her down, now she is hanging in a way that her nose and her face is not directly down on the pillow and is on a breathable pillow or a cushion or whatever you have placed her on top. But then the ideal position to lie your baby, the best position to lie your baby whatsoever they have got colic or whatever, is them facing forward. When they are facing up like this, that way their airways is free, they can breathe and they will not have any obstruction, because babies, they have like limited movement, so we cannot be able to notice all this if we don't place them like this. At worst, you place them on their side. it's best to place them on their side rather that way. So if you place them at the back, the reason is that there is a high risk of sudden infant death. Because of this sudden infant death is because the child is not breathing and has been placed in a wrong position. When this happens, when the child is not getting enough air, the child will suffocate and then death follows next. So in order to avoid all this, we need to keep our child this way. Alright, I believe you watched the video and you have seen the illustration of how I've demonstrated and explained why we need to lie our babies facing up, the importance of that. The next one on our list is feeding your child concussions or herbs, all in the name of making the child's immune system strong. I've heard that a couple of times. They'll be like, they'll mix one abo, mix one, the other one, mix one concoction here and there just to give to the child that it helps to boost their immune system. No, those practices are definitely bad and they are not good for that child, because again, the organs are not yet matured enough to tolerate all those toxics. In fact, I call those things poisons. Those things are not supposed to be fed to a baby, in fact, even an infant, a child, because there are lots of herbs in there. Even an adult, sometimes when we take some things we are not even sure of, it kind of upsets our tummy. Talk more of babies who are still not matured yet. Their organs are still developing, and then we start feeding them lots of things. We start self-medicating them, which I've also talked about self-medication in one of my videos. You can also watch that video and hear what I've said about self-medication and self-diagnosis. We need to keep preaching this. We need to keep creating awareness, letting people know the best practices, what to do to keep our child or children safe. It's all in our hands. Right, let's move on to the last one on our list for today. So the last one is using harsh chemicals on our children or babies, especially infants. You give birth, you start getting lots of advices, use this, use that, and do this, do that. I remember I had my son. Someone said to me, I should use crude oil after circumcision again, and I should keep applying crude oil on his circumcised area. I'm like, why should I use crude oil? It's not like a recognized thing. She said to me, I should forget about all those things the doctor said. The doctors know better than us who have experienced this in our own time. You know, I said to her, no, I cannot use those practices because my doctor hasn't said to me I should do that for my child. So I'm going to do what my doctor has advised me to do. So please, just in case you have heard this thing or you see someone trying to use crude oil on a child's nerve, I don't know even why they should use a harsh chemical like that for a car, as in crude oil in a child's body. I don't know where they got that information from, but that information is a very wrong information, and we shouldn't be doing such to our children. It will rather destroy the skin and even cause more problems to the child's body. So what we are preaching here is the safety of our child. Is there any other dangerous practices you've heard about anywhere, or someone has asked you to do, or advised you to do? Please share with me. I also want to hear all those dangerous practices if I haven't mentioned them here. And that will be all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Haven't subscribed to my channel? Why not subscribe to my channel today? And if you have already, thank you so much for subscribing. Please like, comment and share. This is a very important message. We need to keep sharing this message so that lots of people will hear this message and save a child's life today. So I'll see you again in my next video. Remember, stay positive and be happy. Bye for now.